Hi everyone, welcome back. This is episode 5 of the Try Not to Fall Out podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Oblivion DLCs, which there are 10 of in total. Some are more extensive than others, so we'll be mainly focusing on the final 2, but we'll list them out for you first.
Talk about the first kind of like microtransaction cosmetic DLCs ever to come out. Some people say Bethesda were the first to start all these, with the horse armor being the first DLC to be introduced to Oblivion. One of the most pointless, waste of money, dumbest DLCs I've ever had to come across, and it's the most memeable thing when you bring up DLCs and all the Elder Scrolls.
But it looks nice.
Well, it may look nice.
The armor looks nice on the horse.
Like it's pointless though.
Well, no, because maybe your horse gets more confident now it's swagged up.
Wouldn't you think it would add a bit to the horse, where give it a buff in health or something like that, where it doesn't add anything other than a cosmetic upgrade? And I think when it first released, it was $5 for this DLC or something. Now I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I nearly remember it being fairly expensive, and seeing what it was, I remember being kind of saying that's a bit of a waste of money back in the day. Now tell me this, did you get it when it first released, or were you introduced to Oblivion when it had all the DLCs as a pack? Or do you remember these being released individually?
I had the horse armor when I was playing, like it wasn't released.
So you went out and paid for it?
The horse armor was released in 2006. I would have been 5 years old. So can we put that into perspective, please? So I'm pretty sure I bought, actually all of these have been released in 2006. So there's no chance in hell that I was like, looking at one of them's 2007. But there's no chance 5-year-old me was like looking at the gamer forums. Where even would I look? Like, how would I find out that they're getting released? I don't know. Regardless, no, I downloaded the game with all the DLCs already.
So I remember I wasn't really a PC gamer when I was younger. I was a Xbox and PlayStation. I was a console gamer, and so I remember on the Xbox 360 on the game store, it was very janky. It was all like white background and stuff like that. I really remember it, and it was like green and white. And I remember finding the DLCs and downloading them and paying for them out of my birthday money and stuff like that. I was 16 at this time. I remember downloading them, and I did buy the horse armor, but I bought all the DLC except the Shivering Isles and the Night of the Nine. I downloaded all the other DLCs that we're going to go over now in a minute. But I remember not being too happy with them because they weren't adding really anything as in missions other than one of them, which I'll talk about now in a minute. But the horse armor, as we're still talking about that one for now, there was only, now correct me if I'm wrong again, 2 different types of horse armor, was there? There was the Elven one and the iron one, or steel. I think that's the only 2 there was.
Oh yeah.
I still think it was the dumbest thing. Like I was like, oh cool, like because horses. I remember my horses always getting hit and killed on me. I was always losing my horses, except when I got Shadowmere. Obviously, can you put a horse armor on Shadowmere? I don't think you can.
No, but the thing is, Shadowmere kind of makes the horse armor pointless because she respawns.
He's immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she, whatever you want to. I don't know.
It's Shadowmere. It's like a mare, isn't it? It's like a girl.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's like a girl horse. Lucy LaChance has a girl horse. It's like a girl horse. It's like a horse, but it's a girl. You know.
So yeah, horse armor.
That's why she slays so hard.
I rank horse armor as the worst DLC in all the DLCs that was made for the Elder Scrolls games, and for Oblivion I think is the worst one. I think it's pointless. You could delete it and never think of it, and it's just a meme now, and everyone blames it on causing all the microtransactions. All the other game companies out there seeing how much money they can make out of something stupid. My next DLC I'm going to talk about is another one you probably don't think about too often. I'm going to kind of go through these fast. It's the Fighter Stronghold. It's the one I never do. I've done it once, and I remember it being a pain to do because it costs so much money. Like you buy the DLC, but then in game you find this castle. I think you kill a bunch of bad guys in it, and then you have to, like, every upgrade in it is thousands and thousands of gold. I don't know. Have you ever done this one, Georgia? The Stronghold?
No.
The Fighter Stronghold. Now, in the end, you get kind of mercenaries you can take out with you and stuff like that. So you can have, like, a person that will respawn, I think. So if they die, like, another person will be recruited and replaces them. But again, it's a home base. It's a home, like, a little house you can have in the game, and it's a little castle. But it's so grindy, and so you have to work up so much to it. It costs so much gold. So again, that's probably my least favorite, again, of the home bases. Much to say on that one.
No, because I didn't play it.
Grant. And then
So,
the similar one to that is the Vile Lair. I kind of like this one a little better. It's another home base.
mm,
It's down by Leywin, and it's kind of off. It's a
hmm
nice little hidden place. So when I was playing as a bad guy, vampire, Dark Brotherhood, you want to get a break from the hanging out in the sanctuary. There's too many people. You want some time to yourself. You go down to the Vile Lair as a bad guy. It's a little holiday home for yourself, and it actually has some interesting stuff in it, which I used to think about. You go down again. It's very expensive. It's very grindy to get all the stuff, but some of the upgrades are kind of worth it because you can actually get this pool. You have this kind of pool of war in it, and once you get it and upgrade it, it can actually cure you of vampirism, and I think it cures
ooh.
you all diseases too every time you go. Now I might be wrong with
So does praying at a
yeah,
shrine.
but praying at a shrine won't cure you of vampirism if you're fully vampire.
That's
So,
never happened to me though.
so if you're a full vampire in the game,
Skill issue.
you want to go back to being human, and so you can kind of skip the whole long quest line there is of turning back into a human. You can use this pool, basically it will revert you back. I think you get like a little butler guy, or you get something else in there. There's a few other bits and pieces. You can get kind of cool equipment and weapons and stuff like that. But again, the game didn't really need it, and they made it kind of grindy just to get to the stage. Again, it's okay. I'd rank that one probably about 5 or 6 out of 10 if I was ranking these. But it's okay. It's not the worst one.
I didn't play that one.
Fair enough.
Anything, you can assume that anything that's grindy and has very little story in it, I have not played it.
The next one up, I think it's a little better, is the Thieves' Den. It's kind of cool. Has a bit of a cool quest line in it. It's over by Anvil, and it's in behind you where the castle is in Anvil, out on the water.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little cave
Yeah.
underneath it, and there's a cool little lore story on it, where these pirates came in to attack Anvil, but a bunch of mages enclosed them with loads of rocks,
Oh, that wasn't very nice.
and they were stuck in there, and they literally just starved to death inside this cave. But the ship is still in there.
Oh.
So you can find a way through it. It's really cool, like, and you go in and you find all this pirate stuff, and you get this saber and stuff like that. I did a whole playthrough. It's on my YouTube channel, guys. Check it out. I made I did a play on Jack Sparrow, and I made a character. He was an Argonian. Yeah,
Classic.
it was cool. I Jock something. I call him Jack Sparrow or something like that, or something like that. And I was just playing the Pirates of the Caribbean music the whole time throughout the playthrough. It was good fun. And
Did you have a jar of dirt?
I actually didn't. I should have got a mod and get that installed. That would have been cool.
Jar of dirt mod.
It's a cool little player home. You actually make decent money through it. You can get pirates and stuff like that and send them out and they raid and they'll come back with loot and stuff like that and put it in your chest.
Oh, nice.
And sometimes they come back with good stuff. It's kind of cool. I think the fight the what was the other one? The stronghold one does the same, and they go off and they bring back money from doing mercenary things. I think I just remember the Thieves one being a bit more cooler because it was a pirate ship. I think back in the early those 2000s, I was big into Pirates of the Caribbean were pretty big and stuff like that. So I was kind of big into that back in the day. It's good. It's a good one. It's grindy again, and there's a cool quest behind it. I thought with you learned about the mages like closing these pirates in and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend it. That's a good one. All these DLCs nowadays usually come with the base game as you buy
Yeah.
it. Usually, if you're going to get the game, get the full edition version of it. What they call it? The yearly.
It's either like anniversary edition or
Yeah,
complete edition or something like that.
complete. Yeah, I'm sure you guys get that one because again, they're all the pop-ups that when you start a new game. They're the ones that kind of fly up at the screen every single time you start a game. But some of them are fun, especially after you finish the main quest and you're like, "What do I do now?" They're good kind of things to kind of chip
What
away
do you
at.
do now? You grieve.
Yeah, because we're hurting. Bye. Then there's the one I kind of like a bit. I think it's very useful if you don't want to go down the whole grindiness of the Mages Guild, and it's the Wizard Tower.
Yeah.
Wizard Tower can be very powerful, but
Feels kind of
it
random.
is. It's just thrown in there, and you can really fast. You can fast
You
travel.
learn. It's like, here you
Yeah,
go. Here's a tower,
here-
and I'm like, thanks.
it's the same for every one of these DLCs. You get a letter from a family member.
I don't have any family, bro. Like, where were they when I was in
Yeah, they
jail?
leave them all to your in a
You
will,
know,
but
like
it's
why?
weird. It's weird. But it's good for the Witch's Tower is very good for min maxing your magic and getting very powerful very quickly because you can make spells there. You can make enchanted stuff. It's very powerful. Again, It's really expensive to get to that stage because you have to pay for all these things so you can access the certain parts. So
Yeah, you can use cheats though.
yeah, but if you don't use cheats, it's really grindy. The Wizard Tower, I do like it. Again, all these DLCs, you kind of have to play a bit of mind manipulation if you're doing the role play thing where you got to work them into your playthrough if you want to kind of do the role playing thing. Unless you're not really into that and you want to go make a really powerful character, I highly recommend checking the Wizard Tower because magic is super powerful in the Elder Scrolls. And it's a cool home base. It's nice and big. It's right up by Bruma. It's probably one of the better home bases, I reckon. And that's all the home bases then. And other than that, then the next kind of stage, Mayor's Razor is a really good weapon. I don't know what the Ori is. I can't remember what that one is.
A functional aura ray that offers a once per day spell based on the constellations. A note will be added to one's inventory, directing the player to head to Camp Aelis in the southern part of the Clovian Highlands.
Is the Ori something to do with the Mage's Guild?
I didn't do that. I don't even remember it, to be honest. Maybe I read it and went, anyway.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, but I don't remember as much as probably you do. But the name is very
I
familiar.
don't ever use it. Next playthrough, I might check that out. The one I really kind of want to talk about, which I was getting into there, is the Mayor's Razor. Did you do this one?
Yeah.
Right. It has a cool quest added to it. It's all for one. It's like they have all the Daedric weapons in the game and stuff like that, and all the Daedric shrines. But you have to remember the main bad guy in the entire game was Mayor's Dagon. So you couldn't really go to his shrine, right? Because his shrines were all part of the main quest. So you could do all the other Daedric quests, right? Get all their weapons. You could do Share Gorath's, even though he gets his own DLC. But you could do all the other like Azuras and stuff like that. Get all their Daedric weapons and or their gifts. Mehrunes Dagon didn't get one because he was the main bad guy, so he got a DLC for Mehrunes Razor, which is a very very good weapon. It has the chance to one shot anything. I think it's like I can't remember the percentage, but I think it was pretty good. I think it's like 10% or something.
Yeah, it
like
says
that.
a rare ability to instantly kill a target, but
Yeah, it's pretty good. I really like it. They actually redo this or re-hit touch this quest back in Skyrim again. So for Skyrim players, this is where it came from. The Mayor's Razor is broken up into pieces or something like that in that game, but in this one, I think you just go down to a cave. It's not that hard. Like you can kind of sneak all the way through it. I actually went through the whole cave one time because there's a other interesting weapon in that cave that was added, and it's this you know what a hoe is for gardening. They added it in as a meme where this hoe, and it's only this one in the entire game that you can pick up as you can pick ones up as a weapon, but there's one specific one you can pick up and use as a weapon. And if you use this, it can give and it targets a disease.
That's cool.
And it doesn't give them any disease, but it gives them diseases, like really weird diseases that don't show up in the game.
Oh, okay.
So it's really weird. It's hard to explain. I highly recommend it. I might send you a link later on, Georgia, and I'll get you to put it in the YouTube channel. It's Camelworks. He does a whole video on
Like the
it.
link in the description.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description. I'll send you the link later so you can put it in the video.
Okay.
So people can watch go check it out because I planned on actually doing a whole playthrough on that with the hoe, but then some other YouTuber got ahead and did it for me, and I didn't want to sound like I was copying them. So
Well, you shouldn't let that stop you. You should do stuff anyway.
I know, but I'm gonna let that one cool down and come up and bring it back later, so down the line. But yeah, it's an interesting weapon. It's but I'm kind of going on a rant here. Mayron's Razor is very good. I did like it. Nice little touch. He was the missing Daedric weapon, or the Daedric gift. So I kind of like that one. I did like that one. And it's a really good weapon if you're playing as a bad guy too, I guess. Kind of flying through these, but the last two probably going to be what's going to take up the chunk of this podcast, being honest. So I'm going to talk about the Knights of the Nine. I really love this DLC. The armor, I loved it. I loved the quests. I loved the fact that you had to go on like a pilgrimage. You have to go to all these shrines, and some of the shrines are gone. If you do the main quest and then you go to do this Night of the Nine quest, you have to find other shrines because some of the shrines actually got destroyed by Oblivion Gates. You start off with this quest by obviously getting a notification, and you'll probably hear it as you play it throughout the game about something happened in Anvil. And depending what you do too, if you played through the main story or you completed guilds and stuff like that, you can give him different answers. So he goes, "Who are you? Like what? Like you think you're good enough for this challenge for to take on the this pilgrimage?" And you can say that I'm the hero of Cyrodiil. I'm the the hero of Kvatch, or I'm the the leader of the Fighters Guild, such and such, like to him, and he'll have different things to say for that, which is a nice little touch.
And I remember talking to him, and he was just like, "You're not good enough. Bye." Like that was because I like went.
You can literally do it straight.
Well, I think I can't
No,
remember. I
you can
think
do it.
you need to say something or do something though. If you've done nothing,
Yeah.
you need to
No,
like,
because
cause I said to him, I was like, he's like, "What are your accomplishments?" And
yeah.
I'm like, "I've done nothing yet." And
No,
he's like, "Too bad, fuck off."
no, you can just go into the church then, and you kill all the bad guys in the church.
Oh, see, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't do that. I just went, okay, roots and then
So
left.
yeah, once you do that and come out, he'll say you're worthy enough, and then he'll send you on this little journey, and you have to go pray at, I think, I can't remember how many shrines there was, but I remember pulling my old strategy guide out for this one,
Too
and
many.
because there it doesn't mark that, it gives you a kind of little page, a little map, and they're kind of roughly marked, and you have to kind of look at your map and its map and try to work out where they are. It's a bit of a pain, but I actually kind of liked it because for once the game wasn't holding my hand the whole way with a map marker. Some people, I don't always like go take a left at the tree, the tree with the broken branches, and then you'll see a bush to your right that has berries on it, and then you see the guy, he should be down by the docks, and this kind of thing with a mustache, like those kind of things that Morrowind do. I think it's great, but after hours and hours of gameplay, you just want to sometimes just get to the place. And I kind of that's what I liked about Oblivion. Sometimes it was just to the point. I could enjoy the action and the lore and the gameplay. But for once, the game took a step back and went back to the old way, and it was a nice touch. That's what I really liked about it, and it wasn't overbearing and too much. And then once you complete all the shrines, I think you get this vision, and you meet, what's the guy's name? The knight. He's a very famous knight. Hang on there, I'll look him up. You meet
His name's on the tip of my
yeah,
tongue.
he's very famous. I can't think of a. I was reading through all this earlier today.
Perennial Whitestreak
Yeah,
was champion to Saint Alessia.
yeah. You meet him, and then I think you have a vision, and you go up and he talks to you, and he basically says you have to find his all pieces of his armor. So you have to find his boots, his greaves, his gauntlets, and his helmet. I think his shield and sword are separate too. I don't think they're together, or they might be together. I can't remember. The first thing you do, you find out where all the bits and pieces are, and then you have to go to each town. And some of the things, I think the sword and the shield are underwater in this cool underwater kind of base, cave, just outside the Imperial City. You go through it, you kill a bunch of skeletons, and you're freaking. I don't know what is with the skeletons in Oblivion, though. Can I just say that? They're so spongy.
They love their
But
skeletons.
like in Skyrim, you can just push them over, like, and they'll just crumple into pieces. Where in
There's no happy medium.
oh my god, like they're pure.
They just love drinking their
That's what I was
milk
gonna say.
there. High calcium.
That's why that makes sense. It makes sense now because in Oblivion, like
Makes
they drink their
sense.
milk. They're milk drinkers. Where in Skyrim they don't like milk drinkers. They hate milk drinkers in Skyrim. Yeah,
They just drink meat.
it's an insult in
Yeah.
Skyrim to be a milk drinker. So
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
actually lore.
we figured it
More
out.
accurate.
That's what we're here, guys. More.
But they do eat a lot of cheese though.
Yeah. Well, did they
So
did they actually
calcium.
eat it?
No, it just sits on their table.
They eat a lot of sweet
Oh
rolls.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
And they're not
That's
good for
why.
you, for
So
sure.
yeah, you meet Panel Whiterake, and he basically gives you the quest to go get all the bits and pieces of the armor. You have to go through trials. You have to go through. There's a few cool quests where this guy's been cursed because the gloves fell off the last night because he punched a beggar or something like that. Some beggar kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. It's cool little tidbits of lore like that. And because he punched this beggar, he wasn't worthy to wear the gloves, and the gloves fell off, and no one could pick them. They were literally stuck on the ground. And then I felt bad for his family, but his whole family basically got a curse where they were always feeling down and weak, and and basically you just take their curse. You take the curse off of them. But the priest in that church knew that's all he had to do, but he was too scared to do it. And we just walk in and say, yeah, I'll take your curse, and you get a debuff. And then the guy that you take the curse off, he just all of a sudden is full of energy. And then he actually does a whole loop of the entire map. That's, if you follow him, he runs the entire map. So that's kind of cool. And then you get the gloves and you bring them back. Then eventually, after you get all the pieces of gloves, you get cured of all the inflictions you take. Then after you complete all, and then when you get this kind of cool little home base, it's the Night of the Nine's little base of operations. You have a church, you have like an underground place where you keep your armor, and then you meet all the ghosts of the previous Knights of the Nine, and you have to face them off in a challenge where you have to beat them all in combat, which is not that hard actually. To be honest, it's pretty. I found it pretty easy. Um, and then once you
You
do,
have to suck them off?
you have to beat them.
Beat them
Beat
off?
them off. Yeah, yeah. Which
Beat
was
them off?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to beat them off?
In a big circle.
Oh! Oh my god, I don't remember that part.
No, yeah, you have to beat
Goodness.
them all in combat, and it's pretty easy. Once you do that, then you find just at the end of it, you have a kind of a rack where you put all the pieces of the armor and weapons. And the cool thing about this is if you're the other way that there's wear and tear, and in Oblivion things break, you have to repair
Mhm.
things. Well, every time you put things back on this rack, and you can only put the Night of Nine stuff there.
Mhm.
But once you put it all there, it repairs it and recharges it. So all the sword enchantment and the mace, you get a mace too. You have to get the mace,
Nice.
the sword and mace, and the shield. Everything gets repaired and recharged. So it's a nice little touch. You can save a lot of money. So I tend to do the Night of the Nine nearly straight off, because you were saying you couldn't do it because you went straight there first.
Oh, I
I
did do
tend to do
it.
it
I
very
did it
early in.
eventually, but like the first time I tried to do it,
Yeah.
that's what he said to me, and it put me off. So I thought I was locked out, and then yeah, I did it after, or maybe just before I did finish the main story, like because I do the Fighters Guild stuff. I do that before I finish the main story. So
Because
think I used one of those things like, oh, I'm leader of the Mages Guild, and he was like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah, because I went straight there and do it usually very early on, because that capability of never having to pay someone to repair or recharge, or having to work and always carry soul gems
Also,
or repair
like
hammers,
he
it's
doesn't let you
handy.
in if you're part of the Dark Brotherhood. He doesn't let you in.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's the case, but I know you can say it though.
He knows all your sins,
Yeah, oh,
like because there's an infamy
that's
meter.
the another thing is, if you're a bad guy, you can't wear any of this armor or use any of it. You have to be a good guy.
Yeah, like you can't use any of the powers. You need to be a good
So
person. You need to repent.
that's why I tend to go when I used to play it. I used to tend to go the Night of Nine first, do the main quest, then using the Night of Nine armor, and then go evil after that with power.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no,
The ancestors watching it
it's cool because
are like,
but, I, but
no.
as you complete the challenges and all the stuff to get the weapons and armor and stuff like that, the people you meet along the way will come to your little sanctuary place down that where you keep the armor, and there's the home and beds in there, and eventually they'll do it up and fix it up, and then you have your own church and stuff like that. But they'll actually like join you in this, like as your knights, and you can actually take them as companions and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And then eventually, after doing all those, you go and fight what's the name of the guy, the main bad guy. The whole reason you're doing this is because Panel Wastrake, he failed to beat what's his name, Umbril, is how you say his name.
Oh yeah.
And he's like a kind of like a weird alien evil god thing. I'm not really sure.
He's a
He's not
bitch.
really a Daedra, so he's just some weird kind of alien god thing.
Just a bitch.
So Panel Whitestrike bet him in combat, but didn't destroy his soul. So he was a
Rookie mistake.
yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, I
So
remember. I remember that the fight scene where like the people help you, like the ghosts help you,
yeah, so you go.
and if they die, like they say sad things if they get struck down.
No,
Or is it that after? I
no,
can't
that's
remember.
that's
They've
kind
got
of.
like quite sad quotes.
But you go to the place, you fight the bad guys. Next of all, you fight the real version of your Umaril, and he next of all kind of things, yeah, kind of things slow down and explode. It's kind of a cool little scene, and then you get sent to you kind of die too. So then you have to fight him in the sky above Cyrodiil, and then once you beat him, then you come back down to your body, which then your Night of Nine followers thought you died, so they took your body back to the Undercroft in your little hideout, and then you wake up. They come running down, and they're all happy
No.
then, and then you meet Panel Whitestrike again, and he tells you, "Well done, you can keep the armor and such." And it's a good DLC. You get a bunch of quests out of it. You get a cool armor, you get a cool experience, and you get a big fight. And it's not that hard. It's pretty
Well,
easy.
speak for yourself.
And plus that you have the capability of constantly being able to. When I found out you could just recharge all your stuff by putting it back on the stand, I thought it was the best thing ever, because I was so fed up at that stage of constantly training my armory, training my enchanting and stuff like that to keep things enchanted and armor repaired. So yeah, it's pretty. It's my second favorite DLC, I think, of the Elder Scrolls.
It becomes the only problem I had with it is it becomes quite like I think because they make you go to the pilgrimage first, and then as you said, if you've if you've already done the main quest, you go to certain shrines and it's like, what the fuck? It's not here anymore. It's like being nuked.
Yeah, you have to go fight. There's other ones like
So you
yeah,
need to go find other ones, and it's just it becomes very tedious. And I was just like, oh my god, how much longer is this gonna take? And then eventually you get there, and it's like, I just remember it being very like,
yeah.
oh my god, like I don't like it when they give me challenges and they're challenging me right now.
That's the only real
So
challenge really in the whole thing. Otherwise, everything else will give
I
you
like the story
yeah,
though. Like I like the actual story behind it, and I thought the characters were very interesting.
yeah,
So I didn't mind that part. Like the actual storytelling part is always my favorite anyway. So I really enjoyed that. And the armor is cool, and I like the whole concept of like having to be, pure and chosen by the gods and you can't sin or else the armor's like,
yeah.
I like that concept. And also I find it funny. I was reading the wiki for the Knights of the Nine. And if you scroll down to the bottom. Oh yeah, so it says first, it is unknown what happened to the Knights of the Nine after the Great War and the ban of Talos worship, which I find interesting.
Mm.
Have you got any theories about what might have happened?
I say they like a lot of them were just like priests and they, and kind of combatants that they kind of the hero of Cyrodiil was the main like he's carried them basically because he was the main warrior. So a lot of them weren't real like proper warriors. So either one or two things they went into hiding, I think. So they
Mm-hmm.
obviously took off the armor and went in hiding and worshipped Talos in secret and kind of worked it that way because they probably seen what the Talmor did to the blades and stuff like that. Way the Talmor like decapitated all the blades and threw them in front of the Emperor and said, "Look, here's your spoils." And the fact the blades are supposed to be some of the best warriors out there probably put fear into the Knight of the Nine. But I think the Knight of the Nine kind of really disassembled fairly quickly after we're going to talk about the next DLC in a minute. But because of that, because the hero of Cyrodiil just disappeared and became Sheogorath in that
That's how
sense.
you deal with grief, though. Like no Martin throws phone and breaks skateboard. No Martin.
Well, no, well, that's why I think that happened. I think that just because the leader's gone,
Yeah,
there's no point of being
I
around
think the
there. Yeah.
same.
So I think they would have hid the armor probably again around into secret shrines and stuff like that to be found again for a day when it's needed. Something like that.
That's fair.
I think that's what's going to happen down the line. But the one cool thing is we were
Oh.
playing Baldur's Gate a few weeks back, and it made me think about this quest. And do you remember the quest where you had to jump over to find the it was all the fog, and you had to kind of work your way across the find the invisible bridge, basically?
Oh yeah,
Do you
the
remember?
Shadowlands.
Do you remember that in there's a quest kind of like that in in the Night of the Nine where you have to get the mace and you have to wear I think you need the
See,
boots or
that's
something
why
like
I
that
hated
first
it. Like,
so
it's
you
just
can
like, bro, and I mean, I hate that part of Baldur's Gate as well. Like, I get how if you like games that are
yeah
a bit challenging or a bit interesting in terms of like how you play it, I can see why you would like that. But I personally, because I don't like that, I hated it. I was like, oh, so frustrating.
come on like the game
That's just me. That's
yeah
just me. You're allowed to like it. That's the thing. I did want to also quickly on the wiki, it's about the expulsion. So it says there's no expulsion from the Knights of the Nine, but if infamy increases to a value of 2, the relics of the Crusader can no longer be used. And this message will display saying, "You are unable to equip the holy armor, walk the pilgrim's way to repent of your sins, and once again seek the favor of the gods." And this happened to me so many times. I think that's why I don't like
I can
this.
tell you why that's happened though because you've been doing the Dark Brotherhood.
Okay, well, not even that. I think I was just I think like for example, like I'm pretty sure I was like walking around and bandits would attack me
No,
and I'd kill them and
no,
then
you
I'd get
won't.
infamy for
You
it. Like
don't.
they don't want you doing shit.
You don't. You can kill bandits all day long and they won't care. It's only
I'm pretty sure it wasn't the
no.
Dark Brotherhood
You're
because I
doing the
knew
Dark
not to
Brotherhood
play
or
it.
you're doing the Thieves Guild. You're doing one or the other. I can guarantee
No.
it. You're stealing
Anyway,
stealing people's sweet rolls.
anyway, they should let me be who I am. They shouldn't judge me. And yeah, it says to regain the privilege to wear the armor, you have to walk the whole pilgrim's way again,
It's not that hard.
brother.
If you, especially if you
And
did it
no, but it's
once.
such okay. For me, it was tedious. Also, I found this really funny. If the Grey Cowl of Nocturnal is equipped while wearing the relics, the infamy will be instantly raised to 100,
Yeah, it's
which is
pretty
so
high.
funny. And the holy armor will unequip itself.
Just falls on the ground.
Yeah, it's like when you try and wear the Amulet of Kings.
Yeah.
It just falls right off you. Everyone did that the first time they got it. Everyone tried to wear it.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Oh, so funny.
The other way it says because you don't have dragon blood. I always used to think then if I had the Amulet Kings as the Dragonborn
Yeah,
in
you would have been able
Skyrim,
to wear
would
it.
do
Yeah.
you think so? Because
Yeah.
I've read so many stories on that,
I believe
theories and
100%
stuff like that.
because that's the thing. You're
Yeah.
blessed by Akatosh, you know?
Mm.
So, yeah, I think
Well, you
so.
cannot wear it anymore because the Amulet Kings is gone.
Okay. I think you need to... What a bummer. I think you need to be a Dragonborn, though. You can't be, like, just a dragon. Like, imagine trying to put the Amulet of Kings on Alduin. That would be so funny.
That could potentially
Bro,
work
we
because
need an emperor, bro. Come here. It wouldn't fit around
that
their
could
neck.
potentially work. No, but they could if you got a big rope. But like,
Okay, no,
it could.
we're not talking about making the dragons in Skyrim the emperor. We're not. This is not, no.
But in theory, though, it could work
I
though
don't think it should.
because they are blessed by Akatosh because they are the remnant. Like they come from him. Like that.
Akatosh is not only responsible for his beautiful son Martin, he's also responsible for his awful, awful son Alduin. It's like, how are they?
Gods make mistakes too, I guess. No, we're getting off topic. So I think you should introduce the last DLC we're going to talk about right now, and
I
that's
should, because it's
yeah,
about me.
it's the one that you
Um,
know well more.
I'm in it.
So
Do you guys like me? Do you want to see me in a video game? Just play the Shivering Isles. So it's really hard when you lose a loved one. It's really difficult, and everyone deals with that in different ways. And for me personally, I found a door to the middle of nowhere, and I went through it. And then you go into the land of the mentally ill, which is also known as the Shivering Isles, and it's got loads of stuff for you. It's got a hill where people commit suicide and they constantly come back. It's got a giant monster that won't let you in unless you defeat it, but the keys for the doors are actually in its body. You've got everyone who's got God knows what kind of disorder mentally, and they're trying to talk to you, but talking to them is like 9 times out of 10 a lost cause. And then eventually you get into this place, and you've done so much to get in, and it's just like maybe the weirdest Daedric prince of them all is waiting for you. And for some reason he wants you to be his champion, and when you hear that you think it's going to be like, oh, like the arena. No, not like the arena. He does not want you to be the type of champion you were before. He wants you to defeat a Daedric prince. And then eventually we realize it's futile, and he just wants you to just like take over his mantle. So it's the one DLC where you can become a Daedric prince. It's pretty good. The world is really vibrant. I love the colors. The scene where you first go in and you get interviewed by, what's his name? Haskell? Is that his name?
That's right.
He sits you at this table, and there's like one of those old timey clocks ticking away, and then you'll be like, "Why are you here?" And then you can answer however you want. He'll still let you in. And then the minute he decides that he's going to let you into the Shivering Isles, the world around you slowly like turns into butterflies. Like the walls start turning into butterflies, which I remember left a huge impact on me. I was like, this is amazing. But even like outside of the gate, like the door that randomly appears, like you can hear people talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, that door's there again," and then you have to swim to it because it's on a little island thingy, and there's like what is it again? Is it a Khajiit outside of it, threatening to kill an officer?
There's a guard there. I think it's a Bravil guard too. I
Yeah,
think
and
if
he's
I'm
like,
not
"Stay
wrong.
back! This person's insane." And then yeah,
Don't come back. Right. That's it. He has to come back mad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so if you go in there and you come out again, you're crazy. And this Khajiit's face was so like their eyes were so wide, and she was like, "I'm not going back in there. I'm not going back in there." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I need to go in there now.
I
I'm
always find the
curious."
guy that you meet when you go in there and you have to kill the guard, the guardian guy, the gate guardian thing, and he's mad about bones. Bones.
I bet you have nice bones. My favorite guy
I
is
love
the red guard guy who's like, "Am and I amazing?" And he just starts clapping for himself. Like the minute I went in there, I was like, "Oh, this
He's
is
like
it.
all in
This is it.
purple, like he's
Yeah, this is
yeah.
home. This DLC feels like home. Like these people are absolute nutters. I felt I just fit right in. You know, I was like, oh my god, this is it. This is my hometown. So that, yeah, and then you eventually get in. It's just insane. Like everyone is so interesting. There's a guy that's like scared of the stars. He thinks they're gonna fall on him. So he's like looking for a room with a roof. And then there's another guy who wants to sleep outside because he thinks the walls of the inside of his room are going to fall on him. And it's like, okay, how about you two swap? And then there's another guy who gives you his trousers for some reason. I think you give him a sweet roll. And he's like, okay, you can have my trousers. And they're like magic trousers. Yeah, there's a lot. And then
Or
there's
the
this
Americans say pants.
pants. Yeah, he gives you his pants. There's also there's an orc that owns a dog, and he walks around with a dog. And then when you speak to him, he's like, "I'm pretty sure that Khajiit wants to eat my dog." And then when you speak to the Khajiit, because he's always following the guy with the
Yeah.
dog, and you speak to the Khajiit, and he's just like, "I like dogs." He just likes it. He just wants to follow it around because he likes dogs. It's so good. Like, there's so much happening. Like, the world is so alive. Like,
Oh,
every
good.
corner you go to in the Shivering Isles, there's some bullshit happening, and it's amazing. Like, literally, it's the one DLC.
Yeah,
Talk to every character. I mean, every character. Like, even someone who's just sitting there and looks completely unassuming. Like, there's one guy who his words are jumbled when he speaks, and he can only be understood by the Mad God. And then once you take up the mantle, all of a sudden you speak to him, and he's like, "Wait,
yeah.
you can understand me?"
So good.
So, there's loads of different stuff. It's so
Do
funny.
you know
It's
what this
so
reminds
good.
me of again? Do you remember when we were talking about Fallout, New Vegas, and the DLCs, and they finally got to have a good time and enjoy making it? Like I say, they really enjoyed making Oblivion. I think they were stuck to a certain to a standard where they had to keep it going. Where I think
Oh
when
yeah,
it got,
they got loosey goosey with the Shivering
yeah,
Isles for
again,
sure.
it's the whole time where you can tell the writing, they're having a good time, the voice actors are having a laugh, and yeah,
Similar to what I
yeah.
spoke about in New Vegas, it's one of those things like in the DLCs for New Vegas. There's a dark undertone, but it's extremely goofy at the same time. So kind of like the think
Pretty
tanks.
dark actually in some cases. Like
Yeah, it is.
the guy
Yeah.
that wants you to kill him because he doesn't want to live anymore, but if
Bro,
he
that one
can't
was so funny though.
he can't commit suicide because he'll just end
So
up
you have to
like
murder him. So like you literally the minute you finish talking to him, you can
oh.
just push him off the bit he's standing on.
Yeah, and the animation for that is so funny. Just yeah. No, you get kind of
Yeah.
high ranked fairly quickly on as you go in. You become like a duke or you become like a duke's assistant or something like that or whatever. Because you have to pick from what Mania and was it Mania and
Dementia.
Dementia, yeah, you get to pick. Which one do you pick? The golden seducers or the dark
I
seducers?
always pick the mania because I'm manic. And I am kind of, I know that dementia is meant to be like depression stuff, which I relate to as well. But I really like the vibrant colors in the Shivering Isles. I really like I like the mental illness and the dark themes kind of presented
Mm,
as colorful, kind of like Alice in Wonderland.
yeah,
So that's why I think most people go for Mania. It is just more of a vibrant landscape. There's a lot of funny quests in Mania, whereas I think, as I said, Dementia focuses more on like the depressing kind of things. But the thing is that that's why it's so interesting, is because it's two sides of the same coin. Like they're both Shiogorath. He's like happy, but he's also like when you're speaking to him, you can tell that he's both because he'll say something funny and then all of a sudden you'll go, that wasn't funny. Like, he's like talking he'll have like a cadence to his voice and then all of a
yeah,
sudden he's like, never mind.
yeah.
Like,
I love it.
he's so, yeah.
Yeah, and you get real like I don't know, you get to really meet him and talk with him and work through everything, and it's just so good. The quest is really good. There's some bits I'd say I don't like is when you have to keep going through all those tree sap things, and that gets a bit grindy.
That was so
Yeah,
hard, but I don't know if you saw me when I streamed that. There's a VOD up. And when you have, what's it called? When you have a withdrawal from Feldu, your body like ragdolls, and it's the funniest thing ever. Like, when you're playing it, your body just starts to like vibrate and like go all over the screen. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, what the hell just happened? Because like you're running around and you're too busy concentrating on like finding the next Feldu to have so that you can
yeah.
stay in that place. And then all of a sudden, you get attacked by a giant bug and then your body's like vibrating and it's like, what's going on? So even the bits that are annoying have something that happens that makes you smile.
That's the one part I don't
Um
like.
and yeah,
I did
it's
enjoy the kind of fight because I hadn't seen it before. Is when you have to literally fight a copy of yourself. I used to find
oh
it's a
yeah.
hard challenge, but I liked it. I thought it was a nice little touch. Um,
It reminds me of the Baldur's Gate thing,
yeah,
the
yeah. Why? Which
is
again,
it a same self challenge, I
yeah.
think it's called.
So I think that's again. We last DLC we talked about reminded me of something in Baldur's Gate, and that DLC now, yeah,
Well, I feel like that's why Baldur's Gate is so good, is because it takes from
yeah.
a lot of things we love about games, and all the best ideas and it compiles
Do
them.
The other thing I
So
gotta say I really liked about the Shivering Isles quest wise was the quest where you have to go in and read because you killed the main guardian. You have to activate this kind of dungeon that people have to go through to get into the Shivering Isles now, and but the dungeon tests people, and you get to do the actual things where
yeah.
the guy he,
Oh yeah, you have to like test people and like they see
yeah.
shadows of like their
What I
companions and you kill them
the,
one by one. It's very dark.
because the one part I really liked, I don't know if you remember, but there's a this the group of adventurers, they walk in this room, and there's like you get to choose the option
Is it
of
the keys?
the keys, yeah, and there's like a bunch of chests, and then you can just drop tons of keys, and the guy literally goes
Yeah,
insane
because every
because
single
one of these keys will work, and the guy's like, no,
yeah,
those keys are gonna work.
the individual guys, they all have their own
Yeah,
vices, and you kind of work to because like one of them's really greedy, and that's the one that tries to get the key to unlock the chest because ooh, who knows what's in the chest, and then
oh, so
there's the
good.
guy that wants to fight all the
This
time.
is making me want to go and play
Um,
Oblivion now. It's so good, that quest. I love
that's the
it.
point.
Yeah.
That's why we do this
Yeah.
to make people, play games and be passionate about it.
It's so good.
Um,
That quest line alone, and then you have after you do that, you have to make new guardian. You can kind of choose what weapon he gets, and you learn about flesh magic and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting.
yeah.
But I hate those guys you have to fight, the ones that kick you. They kind of do this kind of
Oh
drop kick
yeah.
thing. It's kind of kind of annoying.
I mean, even though there's loads of quests that have good game mechanics, I think the best thing about this DLC, and obviously my favorite, is the storytelling and the
Yeah,
characters, because they're just so good. Like even Haskell, Shukoraf's assistant,
yeah.
makes me laugh
You
so
can
much
keep
because he's
so.
so dour-faced, he's so depressed. And then Shogoraf's like, if you don't summon him at least 5 times a day, he gets depressed, and he thinks you don't like him.
Yeah.
So, and then Shogoraf's like, do it, go do it, and then you have to like stand in front of Shogoraf and summon this guy like 5 times, and he's like, yes, very good, yeah, it's you again. Wow, I'm here again, and it's like his head must be done in.
That's so good.
But yeah, I love him.
Did you ever do the thing where you hit
Um,
Shergorat? Like you attack Shergorat?
hits you go off and he just sends you to the ether. Like he literally sends you to the.
Like so you're in the sky and
You
you
hit
fall
him and then
down
he cut.
and
It's when
you just
it's when
land
he
and you
walks
destroy the
towards you all
bodies.
menacingly with his walking stick. Like if you hit him and then run away to the other side of the room, he'll like slowly walk towards you and he goes, "You shouldn't have done that."
I
All of a sudden he just taps you and you're in the sky and you die from fall damage. And it's so funny because you see all the bodies on the ground and it's like, how many people have tried this? Like, there's a lot of people who have tried
I have
this.
a short video of that.
It's
I
so
could I
funny.
could I could send to you if you wanted to put it down in the description. So if people want to see it, I may because I did it on a playthrough one
Hmm.
time. I'll add it to you too. But it's good. It's
It's
so
so
yeah, it's
funny.
great. It's good stuff.
The one thing I will say is I very much got attached to Shiogorath as an
Yeah.
individual. He's someone who is constantly kind of at war with himself, and he's a result of obviously the Daedric princes not liking Jiggalag.
Hmm.
So it's kind of sad because, as he says, like whenever the Grey March happens, Jiggalag comes and kills everyone he cares about and everyone that likes him, and he has to rebuild from scratch again. And then you try and talk to him, and it's like, so you're saying that Jiggallag's you? And he's like, no, but yes. So like he kind of, it's just seeing him like constantly deal with that was quite sad. And then I think after a while, like you kind of get this rapport with him. I mean, he's insane, so it's kind of difficult at times to grasp what that relationship is and what that dynamic is. I think at the end he does come to like you, and which is why I think it's more difficult. And then when you speak to Jiggalag, there's like it makes you wonder how many remnants of Shiogurath is in Jiggalag when he's speaking to you.
Hmm.
And also the guy that you meet when Jiggalag attacks that is in charge of the book, and he just records history,
Yeah.
and that's his job, and he's the only thing left from Jiggalag. And apparently, when Jiggalag takes over, it's the one thing he can't destroy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I found that very like there was like almost a sentimental kind of sadness to it. I mean, obviously, yeah, there's loads of depressing undertones, but that was kind of different. I don't know. There's like some sort of like you kind of pity him almost.
Hmm.
But yeah, I found that really interesting, and we don't really get to feel the consequences of becoming Sheogorath in Oblivion. I don't think, like, not truly. Because once you've done it,
No, you can walk
yeah, you can
around
walk
and
around, and there's
yeah.
certain things you can interact with differently,
Yeah.
and you know, of course, there's certain things you can do that you weren't able to before, and you've got this cool staff, which I really
You can
like.
control the weather and stuff like that
You don't
in
truly comprehend what it means for you as an individual. And then obviously we meet Sheogorath in
yeah.
Skyrim, and it does make it must be us,
Yeah,
right?
has to be because
But it's weird. It's odd though because it's like I guess we're doomed to look like that. Because the thing
yeah.
is, a lot of people
Well,
don't know this, but Sheogorath has went through a lot of character changes. He used to be a woman. I used to be a ginger
well,
woman, and then he was made into like a young man, and then now he looks like this. So I do wonder if maybe that's the version of him we were familiar with, and that's why we ended up merging
it's
into
the
that.
God thing though. Like a Daedra can nearly look like however they want. They can be whatever race they want. They can be whatever sex they want.
Yeah,
They
I'm
can
saying we chose
yeah.
like
So
because it's us now, but
yeah.
we still chose to look like that. So I wonder if
So
that's part of us feeling familiar
yeah,
with that appearance.
because maybe he's looking like that because that's what he expects. Like I don't know, maybe that's what he just wants to make it look easier for the person that's there in front of him. All the other data princes, like they have they're all they change throughout. They look different throughout this game series. It's like so. It's interesting though,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
again,
it is.
so whatever you when you become Sheogorath, whatever race or whatever thing you chose to become, you eventually going to lose your race, your sex.
And that's kind of the
Yeah,
sadness as well, isn't it? Because like the person that you were, the person that fought beside Martin and did all of these amazing things, in the end ends up just becoming this
yeah,
preset person, this Daedric prince that was created via a curse. And it's kind of a lonely existence, and I think that's why at the same time it's almost like this pitying thing. And I think when you talk to Jiglag, he pities you because, you know, that's what you're doing, you're becoming
yeah.
that.
Oh, it's interesting.
When I saw him in Skyrim, I did have this very bittersweet feeling. And he's the highest leveled character in Oblivion, which I find interesting.
Who the
Sheogorath is
like?
the highest leveled
And so,
character in Oblivion.
there's a level cap in Oblivion, though, right? I think 80 was the level cap.
Yeah, but there's a good chance they just made it higher because it's funny, you know.
Yeah, so he's probably
See,
like
that's
at
the
level 1,000 or
yeah,
something. I
he's
can,
probably
yeah.
yeah, probably because like that's the thing. That's why it's funny. So yeah, so Sheogorath's dialogue in Skyrim suggests he is the hero of Kvatch. Referenced by Sheogorath, he first mentions he was part of the Oblivion Crisis for that whole sordid
Mm-hmm.
affair. He also mentions butterflies, blood, a fox, a severed head, and cheese, likely referencing the events of Oblivion and the Shivering Isles. And it said that Sheogorath's intention was, according to Haskell, for the hero of Kvatch to mantle him at the end of the Shivering Isles questline. And Haskell tells the hero that the mantling was a success, and they'll grow into the god they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Do you think he or she or whatever? Do you think they Sheogorath, the new one, the Kvatch hero Kvatch version, will eventually just kind of just fall into the madness of Sheogorath?
Yeah,
Like
when you meet
eventually
them and he's at the table and everything, yeah, he's the person they were doesn't exist anymore.
it's sad to think like that was the heroes and like because what the heroes will eventually get
Oh
around
yeah.
to talking about the other Oblivion games and stuff like
The
that,
other
but
Oblivion
most of the
games.
heroes just kind of faded out like the Oblivion games, the Elder Scrolls games, but the rest of the heroes we'll get into it eventually. But even this the hero of what's it called the Skyrim, like his ending or she and her ending doesn't end very well either.
No.
Like and we'll get into that in another conversation. I'm not going to really dive into it, but I'm trying to think about Morrowind. They become immortal as far as I remember, and stuff like that, and get to live eternal life. And I'm currently right now I'm doing a playthrough of Arena, and I want to find out. I think the hero of Arena gets I can't remember the title they get. I don't remember where they end up or what happens in the end, and it's always left in like obscure like
Yeah.
endings like that. But it's funny how we get like an official ending. And I guess we kind of know we get to see the outcome of the ending of for the hero of Kvatch. It's kind of interesting, I think.
Mhm.
I like that. I like that. It's sad, but I like it.
He's my favorite Daedric prince, other than Jiggalag, though I think some people would kind of put them together. So like even though he's like insane, he's also like super intelligent and insightful. Like he knows a lot about like the affairs of Oblivion, as seen in being part of the compact to Sotha Sil in 2920. And his mention of attending the parties of the other princes, and he's also known to be capable of not only manipulating people but other Daedric lords, because he manipulated Malakath into killing his own son. He defeated Hircine in a battle of beasts, and he beat Vermina at her own game. So he's very OP So like I think they tried to nerf him and they just didn't. They didn't manage. I
Well, that's
don't
the thing
think.
is that's the whole reason he is what he is because yeah, Jigleg was way
But
too
like
powerful.
they failed though. He's
Yeah.
still OP. He comes back every time and he's still good.
I'm nearly sure Jiglag was getting ready to conquer the other Deja princes, like, and conquer their realms and
Oh
stuff like that.
yeah.
Hence why they,
That's why they all got together and
yeah.
went, we need to do something
So
with this.
that's what I was going to bring back up actually earlier. That's what I was going to say. Will we see Jiglag in the future? And that's what I want to see. Well, I want to know. Like, I want to see Jiglag as a Daedric prince, like as a like not even a shrine, but as a quest line or something like that we'd have to face. I wonder, will it be a thing in the next Elder Scrolls game? We'll see. That's the only thing I'm interested. I'm really interested in.
I personally, I want to see Sheogorath somehow meet Martin and somehow turn back
Yeah,
into the hero of
that's
Kavat
that's
shortly, even for a short time.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think that'll ever happen. That'd be like a fanfic thing, I'd say. But
I
yeah.
I read the I'll write the fanfic.
Yeah, but the only thing I can see is, yeah, I can see like Share Gorat and Alter Age of Princes are a given. I recommend, I reckon they're going to be in the next Elder Scrolls games. It's going to be the Shrines, it's going to be the Age of
I mean,
Prince
they're so
quests.
interesting. It would be a shame
That's
if they weren't.
the games wouldn't be what they are without them. But they never really do anything with Jigalag, and that's what I'm hoping to see in the next games. Because Jigalag was obviously, according to the Shivering DLC, was kind of kept hidden because of Sheogorat, but Jigalag is now free. I want to see the outcome of that. I want to see something to cause that. Maybe it's the next villain. Like, that'd be a really interesting way to play it. Can we stop doing Mayron's Dagon and stop doing freaking Molag Ball and do something interesting with Jigalag, that a god that we haven't really seen the outcome of or what he can do, or she or they.
I like how he created music.
Jigalag or
Like
Shigarak?
Made music. No, Sheogorath made music, and he made it by killing a woman and using some of her body parts as an instrument.
Did he invent cheese because he loves it?
I don't. I think
Cheese.
he just likes cheese.
And can we talk about his accent for a second?
Yeah, so I think
His accent,
Wes Johnson mentioned that the inspiration was meant to be. Oh, I had it.
Billy
Billy
Connolly.
Connolly, yeah. But obviously, because Wes Johnson is an American, even though he's very talented, it's very hard to do a Scottish accent. So it's like a mix of Scottish and Irish. But when you're playing the game, nearer the time that Jiglag takes over, his accent kind of wanes
Yeah.
and he uses it less and less. Like his voice becomes almost not completely normal, which I thought was
And
super interesting.
can I just say things, guys?
Um,
Americans doing Irish accents, you never get it right. I'll just say that. Sorry.
Same with Scottish. Like you guys just
Yeah.
can't do it, and that's
I'm
fine.
sorry, but I do like Wes Johnson's take on Cheryl. I like that it's kind of weird and goofy, and it's all kind of broken up, and it adds to his character. Like what is it like? I do like it. But did you ever hear what he sounds like before the? You get the game before the Shivering Isles
No,
DLC. You should look it up. It's weird.
why was he a lot
It's
different?
so weird. It's like this real high pitch kind of
Oh,
grainy little kitty voice. It's very weird. I'd highly recommend it.
oh, that's
Check it out.
creepy.
If you have the way you can go check it really quickly, and anyone wants to do this, download
I'll
it.
find a video and I'll link it.
Download, yeah, do that, or download it on the Xbox Game Pass without any DLCs, and just run over to Share Gorat's shrine. You can literally go straight away after leaving the sewers. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. It's nothing. It's nothing the way he sounds now.
He's ever changing. He's insane. He's
It's
everything and nothing, both at the same time.
it's the best DLC in my
Yeah.
opinion of all time.
Oh
Like,
yeah, for sure.
but I'm nostalgic, and I have nostalgic glasses on. Like,
No, I agree. No, I agree. Like I wasn't even nostalgic for it because I played it later, and it's my favorite.
yeah, no.
Like you know the Khajiit lady that runs around in circles and goes nee 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 nee. Do you remember her?
Yeah,
Oh no, wasn't it? Was she Khajiit? Yeah, she was.
I love that. I need to go back and replay it.
Everyone's so silly.
Yeah, I think I play through Oblivion nearly once every year. Yeah, and like even us talking about it, I reckon if you were to playing it now, we haven't spoiled it. Like not at all. There's so many different wacky and weird quests and different wacky and weird characters. It's just, and depending on what side you pick and stuff like that, there's two different routes you can kind of go down. It's interesting and really fun. I'd highly
I'll
recommend
take
it.
out your entrails and skip rope with them. That's what he says, right? Something like that.
Similar.
Oh, pluck out your eyes.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Yep.
Hi guys,
Human
thanks
else.
for listening to our Skyrim episode.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Cheese
Cheese for everyone.
Yeah.